Nope. I joke, I kid. Okay, so, hello there, I'm Scotty, you're not. We're gonna talk about Nope now. Nope is a movie by Jordan Peele. I enjoyed Get Out, and I enjoyed Us for what they were. I thought they were good, and I'm having a weird noise, I don't know. And he reteams with Daniel Kaluuya here, who was in Get Out with him. He's OJ. And yes, that is to set up a joke. An OJ joke. Daniel Kaluuya, the story here is that Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer, their brother and sister, who are taking care of this ranch where they raise horses that are used in film. Basically what it is. And so they're... it's basically Daniel Kaluuya's character, OJ, that does this. The sister comes in to visit, and then she's had to realize that there's something moving in the sky. And then it also involves Steven Yeun's character, who's, even though he's on the cover, he's not really one of the main characters. There's another character named Angel, who works at a electronics store that is sort of the third lead in this. It's not on the cover because it's not a famous actor. It's like one of his first big time roles is in this movie, but I liked it. So, okay, so a bit of backstory with this. Like, when this was coming out, nobody knew anything about it. Jordan Peele kept it right hush hush. Like, are you going to tell anything? It's like, hey, Jordan Peele, are you going to tell us anything about your new movie? Nope. That's basically what it was. And then the trailer came out, and the trailer came out for the Super Bowl, and it was very, very nondescript. There were some weird things. There was a lady with a weird face that turns out to be like a victim of an attack. And sorry, one of my neighbors was taking a very long time to take out the trash and was making a lot of noise doing it. And the trash dump thing is right outside my door, so there's that. So, where the hell was I? So yeah, no one really knew much about this movie when it came out. And you started seeing TV spots and stuff, telling you more and more. It's aliens. It's aliens. So that was the thing. But it definitely subverted your expectations, I think. In a good way for me. A lot of people kind of went, nah, nope, I don't, nope. This movie's not for me, nope. And I was just like, you know, like, everyone says it's a banger year for horror. And this is sort of like a sci-fi thriller type thing. It's not straight up horror. I'm still going to put it with the rest of the horror movies. There's the Jordan Peele horror films because it's, yeah. This right here. Oscar-winning filmmaker. He won for like a cinematography or something. I don't know what it was. Reimagines the summer movie with Nope. So it's like a summer blockbuster, but it's very different and it's very... It's not like you would think a regular blockbuster like a Jurassic Park or an Avengers movie. It's got the special effects, but it's very... This movie is 2 hours and... See in the back of that. Hold on a minute. 2 hours and 11 minutes long. Alright. And yeah, it's sort of like a blockbuster, but it's not one of those big action spectacles. The word spectacle is thrown around. And from what I can gather, I didn't catch it per se myself, but from what I can gather from people's reviews is that the whole message, because there's always a message in his movies, is that about training animals and, you know, going through tragedy and making money off that tragedy. There's a character in this, Steven Yeun's character, Jupe, who was a child actor on a show that featured a chimp that went nuts. And so he is now an adult, and you think that something like that would be like very, you know, very taboo subject, and I want to talk about it, but he's making money off it. Hey, let me show you. I usually charge for this, but I'll show you this. And he, you know, going around, he's making money off it. Of course, you can make money off of tragedy. Why not do it, right? Right? That's not me saying it, that's the movie saying it. And that's basically what it is. Even to a point with the horse trainers, they are making their horses do this stuff and making money off it. And so the performances. I've heard a lot of complaints about Daniel Kaluuya. He is more subdued than he was in Get Out. Basically just, yeah, yeah. He's soft-spoken, which is direct opposite to Keke Palmer's character, M, which is short for Emerald. Why can't you just be Emily? I just, like, M, I can say, oh, your name is Emily, and then they're, no, my name is Emerald, and I'm like, Emerald? Who gives that name to someone? Why couldn't you just, why you gotta give her an extravagant name, Jordan Peele? But Emerald, M, as they call her. And it's Keke Palmer, so she's very outspoken. She's very child type character that Keke Palmer always plays in everything. And I remember that's one of the reasons like Keke Palmer's in this. And I'm like, nope. I've never cared for Keke Palmer. She goes too much. Like season 3 of Scream TV series. She is that character. No, you ain't gonna mess with me type character. And she goes way out. Way too much with it in there. Here, she's the character where she's outspoken, but I think it works well with this character. And she does have the most funny moments in this, which is great. What's not needed though, because I find this to be incredibly like dickish with some people that do this. They walk around with those my folks use them. They're vape pens, but my folks just but I see some of these people who walk around like they badass, like they're the shit. They're like, and they like throw out their mouth. Keke Palmer does that a couple times in this, and I'm like, really? She's playing one of those characters. Like they walk around like they badass. That I got. Like they just the shit or something. I'm you know, you want to vape, fine. But, you know, it's only like a couple times that they show her doing it in this, which is fine. But I don't know, it just comes off weird to me. Comes off kind of dickish, those kind of people that walk around with the vape pen. Look at me, I'm king shit. Kind of like holding it like this and blowing it out. You know, I don't touch that stuff, but you know. Michael Wincott, the villain from The Crow. Forget the guy's name. I haven't watched The Crow in forever. Top Dollar from The Crow. Not the guy from the from Hit Row, WWE tag team. No, Top Dollar was the villain's name in The Crow. Michael Wincott's in this, and, you know, you don't see him much. He's great, and he's got that voice. Deep, deep voice. He plays this cinematographer who was hired by Steven Yeun's character, Jupe. Hired by Jupe to film some stuff. And Keke Palmer, M, tries to get in touch with him when they start realizing that the alien is there, and he doesn't get back until it gets word that there's something going on. Like an incident happens at Jupe's amusement park thing he's got going. So that hits the news. People disappear. So then he goes, maybe I should do this. And then he's ready to do it. And like Michael Wincott on Wikipedia is like the 4th build behind Kaluuya, Palmer, and Yeun. But he's in the film the least. Like, I think he's in it less than Steven Yeun, and he's barely in the film. Like, you know, he's there filming the thing. She talks to him. And they introduce each other there, and then later she goes to see him. They go to see him. He says no, then shows up, and there's like maybe 10 minutes where he's trying to catch this picture. And then because he's going too far, and it's hinted that his character has a death wish because he's dying anyway. So there's, if he dies, as long as he gets the shot, but he gets eaten by this thing. And early on in the film, they established that this thing is not a spaceship; it is the alien. And when it's the saucer-shaped thing, it looks fine. But towards the end of the film, they reveal what the thing looks like, and to me, it looks like a giant kite. It takes all of the what's the word? I keep thinking of situation. It's not situation. It's tension. All the tension that you had. All the word that starts with an S. You know what I'm talking about. All that word. Everything is just sucked out when you see this thing as like a giant balloon kite thing. And it's like some people have said that it could be biblical. It'd be like one of the biblical angels. But I don't know. It looks like a giant balloon kite. That's it. Well, I do like the setup they have, though. They take those, if you're a wrestling fan, they're called Bailey Buddies. They're those little air things. Ooh, you see them at like car dealerships. A whole bunch of them set them up with sort of like distractions, because there's a thing earlier sets this up where it eats a metallic horse they stole from Steven Yeun, right? And so it eats it, but doesn't like metal. That's how the whole thing starts, is that it craps out all the metal that it ate, and a coin comes down, kills Keith David. He's definitely in this the least. He's the dad. Like, oh, Keith David, this is going to be cool. And then he's killed right away. Oh, bye, Goliath. But yeah. And they have this whole setup where you got Daniel Kaluuya, OJ. OJ is on the horse. He's wearing this orange hoodie jacket that says crew on it from when his dad worked on the Scorpion King. It's the first job they got. Scorpion King movie, the first one. This is Universal movie, don't you know? So, yeah. And Daniel Kaluuya is actually younger than me. I thought he was almost 40. He's 33. I'm like, because they're like, he and Palmer are siblings, and I'm just like, hey, he's like 40 and she's my age. Turns out she's younger than me. She's in her late 20s, and he is 2 years younger than I am. So it's like, whoa, okay, I'm older than both of them. Besides the great in my beards, you wouldn't be able to tell it. But yeah, and it sort of ends just. They set up this thing at the beginning at the Jupe's little amusement park. There's this well that takes pictures. And so that comes into the context later when they're trying, after Michael Wincott is eaten by the thing. She takes this motorcycle that a paparazzi guy, and yeah, the paparazzi guy, I'm like, why is this paparazzi guy in there? It's all so she could get the motorcycle later, drive into the amusement park, do an Akira, if you know the anime Akira, where there's a thing. I've never seen it, but I know about the whole coming in and speeding in on the bike. I know about that. And I was like, that looks familiar. I've seen other things. Speed Racer does that in the beginning of the thing. He jumps out of the Mach 5, does that, it's when I watched Chris Stuckman's review, he mentioned Akira. I'm like, that's where that's from. I know exactly what he was talking about when he mentioned it. I'm like, that's it. That's where it's from. But yeah, she does that, and then she's taking pictures of this. Using the thing, she finds the coin, she's using the well thing to take pictures. Although, I really don't think there's, it ends before anything happens. She sees her brother on the horse, because it's all kerfuffled. There's a bunch of dust. You think he might be alive, and then she sees he's alive. So it's implied they're going to get rich and famous off this, which is the whole meaning of the film. They're going to get rich and famous off of something. This alien creature floating in the air, which dies because they do this big inflatable Steven Yeun that blows up inside of it. And so we're led to believe it dies. But that picture is just going to look like a balloon. Which could also lead to a lot of sightings with UFOs where they just say it's a weather balloon because it looks like a balloon. So that could also be a nod to that. Every time I say, oh, it's, alien, it's a UFO, oh, it's a weather balloon. Because it changed and looks like a balloon. So that could be another nod to that. There's one thing I want to discuss before I go here. There is a scene. I mentioned briefly that Steven Yeun's character was a child star on a sitcom with a chimpanzee who went nuts. They show a little part of it at the very beginning of the movie. They mention it with him, and then they take a big break for like 10 minutes to show this entire scene where the chimpanzee goes nuts. Kills everyone except for Steven Yeun's character, because of course, And another character they show later with the messed up face. You see her in the trailer with a fake veil over her, and when the wind comes, you see the messed up face. And when you watch the trailer, you're like, is that an alien? No. I thought it was an alien when I saw the trailer. I'm like, oh, it's just his co-star with the messed up face who survived. I believe it's the actress who played his sister that survived, I think. That's supposed to be. I'm not exactly sure. I think the mom was killed and so was the dad, but that may be the sister, I think. By the way, this sitcom is about a family whose 2 children, well, there's a sister too, but the mom, the dad, and the sister are white. He's Asian and there's a chimp. What kind of weird family is that? I get adoption. Totally, this kid could be adopted. Sure, look at the different strokes. Two little black kids living with a rich white man and his daughter. Could have been something like that, where maybe he and the chimp lived together, and then that I don't know. I'm going too much into a fictional sitcom that doesn't even exist. But yeah, that whole scene kind of was unnecessary, but it does kind of sit there. Once I thought about it, watched other people's reviews, it does kind of show the whole, mistreatment of animals. They are wild animals, and you can't control them no matter how hard you try. So, yeah, I actually enjoyed this film. There were some scenes, man. There were some scenes. Like, there's a scene where Steven Yeun and some of the people in the crowd, they get eaten, and they show the inside of the creature that's eating it, and it really reminded me of Fire in the Sky. Like, I got those feels. I was like, and I watched this on my phone, okay, about this big, and I'm sitting there going, because it reminded me of Fire in the Sky and that scene. If you've seen Fire in the Sky, you know what scene I'm talking about with D.B. Sweeney, and he's recalling what happened to him when he was abducted. That's what it reminded me of. It's not as extensive, but it reminds me of that. You know what I mean? That movie's good too. But this movie, I'm actually going to say, it's pretty good. I was going to give this the middle of the road at first, especially with the design, but watching other people's reviews and hearing them talk about stuff, it got me thinking, they're right, I didn't get it. And the more I thought about it, the more I got it, and I understand what they were going for. I understand the message now. I didn't get the message. Maybe that's the biggest problem with the people who watch this movie, is they were wanting a more straightforward alien abduction movie, and they got one with the message that they don't understand, and so they just said, nope, it's not good. But I think this is actually pretty good to me. So, what are your thoughts on Nope? I know in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. For me, Jordan Peele is 3 for 3. I really liked Get Out, I liked Us, and I really liked this. So, yeah. So, thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.